folks, how you doing? Mark here again from Zombie Hunt, and today Walking Fred and I are going to do a review of the Umarex P08 Luger. We're going to see how it stacks up against the original Lugers from back in the day, and also test it out in our zombie shooting range and see if it can actually knock down and take out some zombies. Okay, so what have we got in front of us? Well, let's start with this one here. This is a Swiss Luger, or a 1900 model. This particular gun here that I've got is manufactured by DWM. And the nice thing about the Swiss Luger is the grip safety. So it's a double safety feature. So even if it was in fire mode, okay, and the manual safety was off, the gun wouldn't go off unless you've gripped it and are ready to rock. So here, also by DWM, is what we call an artillery Luger. This one is from 1917. Okay, so from the First World War, and featured a much longer barrel with adjustable sights, okay, to compensate for the distance. So you could adjust that rear sight for the distance that you're aiming. Okay, it was a nice feature. So much more improved accuracy over longer range, actually out in the battlefield. Okay. So that's what we call an artillery Luger. Let's just move these two to one side. Okay. And then what we're left with here are two Lugers that look very similar. Okay. So here is another Luger from 1917. Okay, but this time it's an Erfurt Luger. This is one that was brought back after the First World War, set up as a trophy piece. Okay, it's all fully stamped, matching numbers, and in essence it's this Luger that brings us on to the Umarex, because that's what it was modelled on. So when you look at the two side by side, Umarex have done a really nice job mimicking the look and feel of the German Luger. Okay, feel really nice in the hand, both of them. Even the weight is very, very similar. So the nice thing about the Umarex gun, it's an all metal construction, just like the original Luger that I have here. Okay, and as I said, it just feels identical. It feels like a Pucker Luger when you've got it in your hand. Okay, so some of the other nice features that Umarex have done. You'll notice on the original German Luger that I've got here, it's got an adjustable front sight. There's no adjustable rear sight. That's just how they were back in the day. But identical to the German Luger there. Again, we've got a nice adjustable front sight, so they've managed to retain that. One thing that's really special about Lugers is how well they were all stamped back in the day. So they've got serial numbers that were matched to virtually every piece of the gun. So you'll see here we've got a 14 that's kind of stamped on the plate, on the strip plate here. There's the 14 there on the overall serial number, and all components of the gun were all marked and stamped accordingly. There's little 14s kind of everywhere, okay, when you look at the original Lugers, and that follows true to the magazines and everything else. So if you can get a matching number Luger, again, it adds to the value. What Umarex have done on their Legend series is they've copied that as well, which is a cracking idea. So to keep it authentic, so you'll see on this gun here, they've got the same stampings everywhere on the gun, just like the original German guns from back in the day. So a real fantastic touch. So a really great gun from a collector's perspective, because it really holds true to the original German Luger from the First World War. Okay, so let's have a deeper look. One thing that I think is absolutely fantastic, and we'll start with the German Luger here first. So a nice touch from the German Luger is how easy they are to strip. So we remove the magazine, put some pressure on the nozzle, remove the strip plate like so, and the barrel will slide off like that. Okay, easy does it. Now, holding true to the original, can you believe it? Umarex have enabled their replica here to strip in exactly the same way. So again, putting some pressure on the nozzle, removing the strip plate, and the barrel slides off in exactly the same way. Okay, there you go. I think that's just a fantastic touch. You know, really authentic to the German piece that it's based on. And again, just putting it back together. Just slide the barrel on, put the strip plate back into play. Okay, move the pin back up. Magazine back in. Now we're ready to go. Okay. So let's just reassemble the original here. Slightly more awkward because there's a little latch on the original. You just got to make sure you get that in place. Put the plate in, and again magazine in. Okay, so really authentic to the original German gun. They've just done a fantastic job on that. Yeah, absolutely blown away by the weight, look and feel, and the way it strips, the way that they've stamped the serial numbers across all the parts. Just absolutely fantastic. Even when you're collecting, as I do, the original Lugers, this is just a lovely piece to add to your collection if you're a collector of Lugers, because they've done such a good job on it, and the quality just feels fantastic. Okay, so let's move the original Lugers to one side for now and concentrate on the Umarex legends going forward. So some key features to point out here. Well, first off, it takes a CO2 cartridge. Okay, so that is the magic behind the blowback mechanism. Okay, adds to that authenticity when we're using the gun. It makes it a load more fun as well. So the magazine as well, it actually takes 21 BBs. Okay, so you can load 21 BBs into that magazine there. Okay, talking of the magazines, that's another nice feature that's worth pointing out. So this is a 9mm Luger magazine that I've got here. And did you know the Luger was one of the first firearms ever made to take the 9mm bullet? Just a little piece of history for you there. Okay, so with the original Luger, what you'll see is when you load the bullets into the top, you've got this little mechanism here to pull down the spring to make the bullets loading a lot easier, okay, as you drop them in. So staying true to that design, what Umarex have done again for their BBs is the same mechanism here at the side, so it loads in the same way as the original Lugers from back in the day. So again, I think that's just a fantastic touch. Before we load some BBs into the magazine, we'll get a CO2 cartridge fully loaded. So let's see how we do that. Okay, so to load a CO2 cartridge into the magazine, just place the cartridge in like so, grab an Allen key, and then nip it up from the bottom. Okay, and always be careful. Okay, just feel it bite initially and then get ready to nip it up tight but fast so that you don't lose or waste any of the CO2. Okay, just like that. Right, so that's as easy as it is to load the CO2. Next off, let's try loading some BBs into this. There's a little aperture, as you'll see here on the magazine, so we'll bring the spring down and then just start dropping the BBs into the aperture there. Okay, and as I said, it takes a total of 21 BBs. I'm just putting a handful in here for now. And we'll see how it copes then, shooting down some of these zombies. Okay, so we've got a fair few in there. Load that in. Make sure your gun's on safety, by the way. Okay, now we're all ready to rock. Okay, so let's hit the range and see how it shoots. Okay, so let's see how this shoots, knocking down some steel zombies at 10 meters. Okay, well that was a lot of fun shooting that, so let's go and see how it did. Incidentally, another nice touch, you'll see when the gun's out of ammo, just like the originals, the toggle pops up. Awesome. So, even on a fresh CO2, not enough power to knock one of those steel targets down. So let's try getting a little bit closer. So it failed to take down those zombie targets. The steel knockdown targets are just too resilient for that gun to actually cope with. Let's try something else, shall we? Let's see if we can save the day, save the world, save the war from this bad boy, okay? We'll check out the accuracy and see if we can get him right in the middle of his nose. Well, it looks like we've taken out the zombie leader there, but let's just go and finish him off to make sure. So let's see how we did. There you go, not too shabby. Save the day, save the war, save the world. Admittedly, it was pretty close. Although the accuracy and power is a little bit down, it can still take out a zombie leader, and it's damn good fun. If you want something that really mirrors and mimics a real Luger, feels authentic in the hand for 100 quid in the UK, what's not to like? Yeah, it is a little bit down on power. Accuracy isn't the greatest unless you get up close and personal. Needless to say, if we were going to improve anything, I do think Umarex could do a version of the artillery Luger like we've got here, with the longer barrel, improving the accuracy, maybe improving the power a little bit on that CO2, having the adjustable rear sight. I think that would be a real nice touch. So Umarex, let's do an artillery version and see if we can add a little bit of spice into something that's rather nice. So there you have it, folks. There's our review of the Umarex P08 Luger. It's a BB CO2 blowback pistol. It's an awful lot of gun for an awful lot of fun. Only £100 in the UK. If you're after a Luger for 100 quid, there's not a lot of choice, I can tell you that. So whether you're a Luger collector, it's great little addition to add to your collection, or if you're just out for a little bit of fun, want something that stays true to the original Luger, yeah, has the closest experience you can, for 100 quid you can't go far wrong. One other nice little touch is you can pick up a reproduction holster off eBay. Goes really nicely with your Umarex pistol. Okay, nice little touch there. They're not much money. Before we go, don't forget to check out our new book, Zombie Poems. It's packed full of twisted tales of the waking, walking and working dead, written by Walking Fred and I. Every poem is an absolute stonker. So get yourself a copy from Amazon right away. You won't regret it. It will brighten up your day. So here's a little one for you. A happy little poem, this one. It's called Dying to Go. There's a toilet that lurks in a bathroom so grim. Its pipes run with rust and there are gruesome stains on the rim. It groans and it gurgles with each flush that you make. It's a porcelain portal and your soul it will take. It feeds on your waste with a ravenous gulp, and the things that it eats will make your insides pulp. Its bowl is a pit to hell that you fear, and the stench that it gives off is truly severe. It swallows your guts as you smell its breath, intoxicating your senses with a steaming fog of death. Its flush is a chain that wraps you tight in its clasp, and it will drag you down to an eternal gasp. So beware, for it's waiting in the bathroom ahead, and the next time you're dying to go, you may well be dead. Okay. So that's a nice little cheery one for you. Beware, it's not for the faint of heart or the easily offended. So click on the link below, go to Amazon, buy yourself a copy of our Zombie Poems. It's rammed full of twisted tales from the waking, the working and the walking dead. Well, that's it for now, everyone. But before we go, always remember those 3 rules of Zombie Hunt. It's stay safe, shoot safe, and be safe.